galit sa GAA, bakit yung Kongreso lang ina-attack, hindi yung Senado? Because this is bicameral. Alam mo yung palusot nila. But in the Constitution, when you say Congress, the Congress is both the House of Representatives and like, parang malamang, I'm talking about the common usage of the term of Congress.
Right.
So they wanted to make palusot na naman na ganon. But exactly, have they, because we're going to the Senate now, di ba?
Yes.
Because, aminin natin, attack na attack sila sa Kongreso dahil, of course, the Speaker of the House has been taking on DUTERTE more than 2/3, more than 70%.
Yep.
This is the highest range of vote for any impeachment,
not
right?
just that, remember, na 215 already signed and submitted na. And yet,
May humahabol.
naghabol pa yung iba up to 243 at the last count. And they had to tell people, tama na. So, here's a question. When that allegation happened na bayad daw itong mga kongresista, hey, you know what? That could be true. I don't know. But what I'm saying is this.
Prove it.
Kung ikaw, kongresista ka, you don't have to sign you got the more than 1/3 needed signatures.
Why would you?
Why would you and put your name on the line knowing that the Duterte still have power that you could get, you could probably not be voted for the next Congress by signing it, and yet they still signed it.
And tapos na yung GAA. So kung may bayaran na, tapos na yan. So you could just say, ay, sorry, kailangan ko mag-microblading. Di ba? Yung mga no, I'm just saying, like, it tells you na siguro na sense din ng mga congressman na yan na there's a palpable support na rin for the impeachment. Siguro na sense din ng mga different constituency. But then again, just to be fair, we had Congressman Percy Sendanya who told us on our show Deep Dive na may mga congressman na in fairness naman, they took really risks kasi medyo malakas yung DDS support and some religious groups that I think we know about, yung mga mahilig mag-rally. So in fairness, some of them really took a risk. So maybe some congressmen deserve some recognition, credit for the risk they're taking. Kasi even if totoo yung marites ng yung mga DDS bloggers dyan na binayaran mga yan, what is 150 million if you're gonna lose access to billions and billions?
Yes.
You gotta say, like, even by their logic, it doesn't make sense.
And
it was risky.
And not just that, on top of that, ang pinaka nakakapagtaka sa argumento na binibigay ng mga DDS trolls, ngayon kung hindi matalas yung pag-iisip, mabubudol ka talaga ng mga ganitong argumento eh. To say na, tignan mo, they're going to get this pang-ayuda or to pay off their constituents for elections. Sige, let's use that analogy. Wait, that same analogy applies to Sarah. Because Sarah does that as well. Everyone does that. So when you say that, the very person you support has also done that in worse ways than what you're talking about. We're not talking just hundreds of millions. Correct. We're talking billions in the DepEd. Maraming ginawa. At saka siya mismo, nag-aayuda system siya. So everyone is doing it eh. And unfortunately, with Sarah, nakikita mo nga, it was shown that we don't know if really it even went to somebody or it went to somebody's pocket internally and not to the real beneficiary of that ayuda. So that ayuda system applies to everyone. Kaya ang hirap mambato ng ganyang aligasyon.
Kahit anong salami slicing mo, mahirap talaga i-justify yung side ng caught red-handed.
Yes.
Basically yun. Kaya lumalaki yung support for impeachment. I'm just trying to put things together here, right?
Yes, pero the thing is, kaya nakakatawa pag narinig mo yung mga argumento ng mga DDS supporters kasi nga, dito mo nakikita ang tataba ng utak nila.
Right.
I mean, I give them that credit. Sobrang galing nila mag-spin ng isang kwento. Maghahanap talaga ng dahilan na talagang pati ako parang, wow, ang hirap ng logic na yun. Pero, sige, okay. Sakit sa bangs. Sakit, wala man lang akong bangs.
Parallel universe, medyo alternate. No, but they perfected that art. And I'll tell you on that. Actually, studies show that some of these people may have got training in Russia and even China.
Oh, yeah.
So, and there's no one better than Russian troll. The Russian troll, maybe Macedonian troll, they're really good brothers. Because I've had co-lectures with people from EU, and we were comparing notes. And I used to be based in National Cheng Kung University in Taiwan. So nakausap ko yung Taiwanese leaders, President Tsai, among others. And they were telling me how sophisticated the troll operations are becoming. And that China is learning from Russia. And if the allegations are true that some of these trolls that we're talking about may have had exposure to to Beijing or Moscow training, then actually you shouldn't be surprised, bro. Na medyo parang, sometimes even if it logically doesn't make sense, yung framing, yung cadence,
Yes.
yung timing, at saka yung the Gable's principle, diba? Kung paulit-ulit mo isang
Yep.
kasinungalingan, it becomes a kind of a self-evident truth, unfortunately. Yeah.
And what they're really good at is being able to create new narratives.
Correct.
So, I mean, honestly, I give it to the Dutertes for that. Na ang galing nila na meron tayong pinag-uusapan isang topic and then babato yan ng some random statement. Sarah did it just recently. God saved the Philippines. And then suddenly, that was trending on Twitter, di ba? Yung kaya nilang, ito pag-usapan natin. Tapos yung, grabe, kawawa ang Pilipinas, naghihirap tayo ngayon. Gas-gas na yun eh. The Philippines is not doing worse. Statistically, we're doing better. Yet, they keep saying, kawawa ang Pilipinas, tignan mo, ang dami naghihirap. By making that statement, they make it sound like it's true. Without having to provide any
Pero
data
more mga
to show.
kaibigan natin yung ganyan line eh. I think more the line of the other side is, kawawang Pilipinas kung impeach natin si Sara, magkakagulo ang bansa, kawawa naman tayo, But actually, sila yung distraction. So actually,
Yes.
doon yung galing yung, I think the context of Senator Senator Bato, yung sinabi niya sa pakin ko yung si Percy.
Yeah.
Kasi sabi ni Percy, God save the Philippines from the Duterte.
Yes.
Kumbaga, parang let me finish that statement. May term kami sa Ilocana, again, si Singpet, meaning, kunyari, pabait-bait si Sara, di ba? Hindi na siya kasama. Hintay ko yung Zoom call na naman. Sabi ko, wait lang, kung 248 ang nag-sign, ang dami niya mamurahin. Siguro, nag-again si Singpet na lang siya, nagpakabait na lang siya. No, but going back to this, look at it. Then Bato got the headlines.
Yep.
So, magaling silang lahat mag-grab ng headlines eh.
Yep.
They're like media mileage monsters, media mileage masters.
Alam mo, that's why ako, I don't react to everything I see online. Especially yung mga ganong, I find them trivial. I don't want to amplify their message. I like to stick to the issue. Kaya kahit nakakita ko ng mga ganyang mga statements, hindi ako magko-comment. Kasi pag nag-comment ka, you're amplifying their message. Then you're also getting diverted from the real topic or the real issue at hand. And not just that, then you just become another, yun na nga, mindless, parang aso nga eh, na kahit na ano nalang iba to mong stimulus, tatahol.
Yeah.
O dito, tahol dito.
Pavlovian dog. Yeah.
Di ba? Yun yung ina-avoid natin, na magre-react ka na lang sa lahat ng ibabatong issue. Then you become exactly that. You're just a reactive voice rather than an actual thinking, intellectual opinion.
But that's where I slightly differ from you. Slightly in a sense that, of course, dapat hindi patulan ng mga katsipangan at mga kaiwanan. But the reality of our information ecosystem is that the algorithms and even mainstream media is clickbait. So, facing that reality, for me, the least I can do is papatulan ko yung topic and then I'll twist it in a certain direction.
Right.
So for instance, Bato is gonna get the media mileage anyway. So
Right.
I'm just gonna turn it against him and joke about it. Kasi, unfortunately, ito na yung information ecosystem natin, bro. I mean, automatically clickbait na yan. You will see all major newspapers, channels already quoting it. And then, nag-respond din si Percy. And on my part, for instance, on this specific issue, solidarity rin. Expression of solidarity.
Yes.
Sabi ko, di bugbugan na tayo. Let's go na. Di ba? Parang gano'n. So I completely agree with you in principle. Except this is not 2020, this is not 2010, this is 2025, whereby the information system is even more clickbaitish and all of that. But then again, from a mental health standpoint, I completely agree with you. Minsan, wala nang pakialam, just go on with your life. I get that. Yeah.
But I want to add that I do not discourage people from countering mga
False
misinformation and false narratives. And they should be called out. So I encourage all netizens to call that out, to comment on that post, so that when people read that post, makikita nila that there are a lot of people that are disagreeing with whatever narrative they're trying to, propagate to the people. Yun yun. So, in that sense, I'm not saying don't react. I'm saying that in my case, I would prefer not to amplify it. But it's good that people do.
Right.
Yun na. So, I think
You can spell it out. Thank you to Richard Hidarian for
yeah. So parang
being a
ikaw na yung
hero.
bahala doon. No? Sa'yo na yan. Ako, okay na ako.
It's
Diba?
okay. You
Thank
can say
God
that.
Richard did it para I don't have to deal
Thank
with
you
this
very
crap.
much,
oh.
Richard Hidarian, the greatest
Buti.
guy, the amazing guy.
Ikaw buti nagbabardagulan ka ako. My God, lampas na ako
It's
dyan.
your mental health. No. That's why I have strictly Sabbath, diba? Like, I have one day of complete, like, no duty or whatever, and then my Fridays are kind of half Sabbath. So I have my own almost religious spiritual breaks. So, meron din akong side na ganon for some friends who know me better. Going back to this, brother, let's talk about the... by the way, nag-apologize si Bato. So maybe nag-work yung pag-pressure namin sa kanya. So,
You know what? Okay.
In
So
fairness.
I'll give it to Bato. At least naman nagkaroon
hey,
siya
and give it to us for pressuring him
sure.
to make him apologize.
Sure.
Because I'm the greatest.
Honestly, that surprised me because,
Never nag-apologize mo?
never. So parang good for him na nag-apologize siya. So, and Percy naman, in his,
Defense, yeah.
defense, he wasn't really defense, but
Credit.
for him, at least kudos to him that, parang okay na rin siya na, sige na. Man, like, this is such a Duterte brand, yung pag wala ka na masagot, insulto na lang, violence is so typical. And
Toxic.
even Duterte supporters are like that. They're very violent, tapos panay insulto. You've seen that, di ba?
Yeah.
Pag sila yung
Oh, yeah,
hindi nag-agree, panay, pwede ba magmura dito?
No, hindi.
Hindi, sige, yun na, yeah, yung PI, yung gago ka, ganun na lang palagi. Like,
Sabi nga ni Basta, di ba? Pag siyang defense secretary, papatayin niya lahat ng mga Ilocanos. Parang, wait.
alam mo,
Wait
pero
lang.
nakakatakot doon.
Pero nakakatakot yan.
He actually means it. They're very capable of that. And that's what I'm saying, na sana naman tayong mga Pilipino, huwag tayong masanay sa mga ganito at huwag natin papayagan itong ganitong ugali. Na pag hindi mo na kaya makipagdebate, manginsulto ka na lang o kaya violence. So, tara suntukan na lang, Google Pay na lang kita, papatayin kita, ganun na lang lagi. Hindi pwedeng ma-normalize yung ganyang usapan. Mga kababayan natin, we are better than this.
Yeah.
Okay? So please lang, wag na tayong pumayag na magpabudol sa mga ganitong klaseng mga tao.
Right.
Hindi tayo ganun. Ano ba tayo? We're not lower forms of, animals. We are the higher creatures that have a thinking capacity. Mag-isip-isip naman tayo. Gamitin natin to. Kaya nga andito yan eh.
Kaya nga, that's my thing with demagogues in general. I mean, you can go back to works of Socrates and Plato. They appeal to the darkest instinct of humanity. They weaponize that, 'di ba? Yung sense of vengeance, grievance, yung kabastusan, yung toxic masculinity, all of that nonsense. Now, let's talk about Senate. What is your read of ano bang latest kay Jesus Cadero?
Pare, did you know that photo that you posted with cheese with a
Microblading.
Yeah. I mean, napansin ko ba yung hairline niya?
Oy, gumanda hairline niya.
Hindi, there's something na parang hindi ko alam kung tahi ba
Nilalagay ba
yan
yan?
or
Oo.
something. Tapos, pati dito parang, I don't know. I mean, hey, nothing against any kind of surgery.
I mean,
if you want to get something done, by all means, if it makes you feel
Wala
better,
akong
go
problema.
for it.
Yeah,
Wala
go
akong issue dyan.
Yeah.
It was just, what a bad shot.
Kapansin-pansin lang.
Oo, what a bad shot. Yun lang, parang, uy, my God, Lord, if I were cheese, hindi ako papayag mapapost yung ganyan picture. Pakitanggal yan. Yun lang, more than anything.
Mas manalo sa akin yung all white siyang coat na gano'n. Tapos yung parang, no, bro. No, bro, no.
Man,
no,
I would
no,
never,
bro.
I'll tell you this, okay, for me lang grabe, Heart really did a number on cheese pagdating sa mga ganyan.
She's trying her best.
Yeah, but for me, man, I would never get my girl to dress me up like that. I love my girlfriend, but no, okay? We draw the line. May boundaries.
Maybe you can pull it off. No offense. No offense to him, I mean, I'm sure you can probably pull it off, but it takes kasi a certain... No, I'm gonna look back. It takes a certain coordinates to make that kind of fashion work. Let's just put it that way. I don't want to say anything more. Baka masabihin naman nila si Richard ay...
Hindi, parang sinasabi mo, binabagay din yan.
Yeah, exactly.
Ganun lang yun. May ibang look na, parang I'm not gonna be able to pull off a hip-hop rapper look with the low pants.
never know.
Yeah, but diba? Like, come on, we're not at that age. Parang grabe naman si Tito, no? Pumipilit pa diba? Parang gano'n.
Si Bato yata may ganun. May hip-hop siyang ganun.
Pero you were saying about the Senate. So,
Senate,
natin? Si Cheese ba pag-usapan natin o yung Senate overall?
His argument is constitutionally debatable. Yung tipong tapos ng session, recess na tayo, mamaya na yan, see you in June kasi hindi ko pwedeng pipilitin yung Senate to vote over this. But the fact that you already had Amy and Robin Hood Padilla and all of these people na pro-Duterte, no offense, openly saying they're gonna fight tooth and nail against this, is that they were actually expecting na magkakaroon ng trial. So it looks like, to me, that the cheese just said, masyadong late naman siguro. Like, he just found an excuse dun sa timing to just say, ay, wala nang time. Let's just kick the can down the road. Yun ang sense ko Because sa aking palagay, some in the Senate, especially pro-Duterte senators, were prepared to fight it as early as now na. So probably, so Cheese did them favor by not even giving them the stress of that.
Okay, so here's the thing I want you to think about. Baka this is something that people can consider. The Senate now, as it is composed, with the way it's composed, would that be something favorable to convict Sara? Or
Not convict,
is that,
pero trial lang. Just to look at the facts of the case. Kasi magpapadala ng prosecutor, sila Luis will go there. So, hindi makakalusot yung mga palusot in a sense that you have a few solid senators, let's say Riza Ontiveros, and then you have more than solid congresswoman like Luis among others. They're gonna give a hard time to those who want to just gloss over it. So the expectation was, at the minimum, there'll be a trial, but the voting and the final judgment, realistically, let's just leave it for after elections. Pero ang nangyayari kasi ngayon is parang the clock will start from zero again after election, and there's no assurance that the next Senate will be any more amenable than this Senate. Because if anything, people say after this election midterms, baka ang inisip ng ibang senador, their own 2028 plans, nanalo na sila tapos na sila. Do you get what I'm saying? There's a debate about probabilities, whether you can get a better. And then there's another thing I want to discuss this. So Pulse Asia survey came out, Okta survey came out, SWS came out a bit earlier. And I want to discuss it in different directions, right? So generally, pro-admin candidates are doing very well. And people like Camille Villar and Binay, Abby Binay, who were not doing very well in the earlier surveys are coming up.
Yep.
And then you have the usual celebrities, Willie Revillame, the Tulfos are solidifying their position. But Bongo is doing very well.
Yeah, he's number two.
Number two,
number three.
almost there. Yeah, almost there. Bato went up.
but still in the he may not win.
But the direction last year was actually pababa. So ngayon medyo nagsastabilize siya within the competitive range. So some are arguing, and I was told that there's some internal surveys that argue that actually itong Sara impeachment case is being used very aggressively to say kailangan natin na mapanalo itong mga champions natin because kung wala sila, yari si Sara, tapos tayong lahat, kawawang Mindanao, kawawang Solid South. So they're using the victim card to solidify support around Bongo, around Bato, and the usual suspects.
And because as you said that you're saying that internal surveys are showing that more and more people are in support of the impeachment, diba? I think what will happen is this midterm elections is going to be a vote on the impeachment or not impeachment. Ganun lang yan eh. So we're gonna find out what the pulse of the people are really.
Yeah.
That if more pro-impeachment Congress representatives win and more pro-impeachment or at least administration-affiliated candidates win,
right,
then that says that the support for impeachment is a lot stronger. So that's my point.
So you're more optimistic than me?
Optimistic in what sense?
No, in a sense that baka the next Senate will be much more favorable. That even if they get 2 or 3 pro-Duterte people in, by that time, the public opinion has already moved in a direction that puts enough pressure on these people to do the right thing. And by that time, the idea that Sara is no longer the inevitable successor, that Sara is not any longer invincible. Kasi if there's one thing also I didn't mention is pababa rin yung satisfaction and approval rating ni Sara.
Yes.
Sara is below 50% in Okta. Sara is just plus 21, 22% net approval in Pulse Asia. These are horrendous numbers for a Duterte. We're used to like plus 80 net approval for someone named Duterte at the national level. So maybe the argument could be also that you may not get the right composition of senators, but you might get the right composition of public opinion and public pressure so that the malasado senators will move in a certain direction.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I'm just looking at all scenarios here, bro.
I'm more looking at it in this perspective na either way, whichever direction it goes, if we're going to get that impeachment before the elections or if we get it after, I think either way is okay. If we do it now and then impeach siya before the elections, great. I have the sooner the better. I really want the Dutertes out of Philippine politics. They are such a cancer to our society. Okay?
But, Rizal level yung parang...
Oh, hell yeah. Talagang sorry ako, normally, I don't, normally, with politicians, pare-pareho lang yan sa akin eh.
Yeah.
The Dutertes just took it to such a different level that like, I couldn't even try to defend what they do. It was so bad. So even with Marcos, with Pacquiao, I mean, as much as I have my criticisms of all the candidates when they were running,
we can go. Yeah, of course.
I could stomach anybody winning. It was the Dutertes. I was like, wow, this is ibang level. Kaya I say that publicly. So people that are supporting Duterte, intindihin nyo kung ano yung binabanggit ko dito. You have to first be Team Philippines before your Team Green, Team Blue, Team Red, Team Pink. Team Pilipinas muna tayo. Yun lang yun. And if you're looking at it from Team Pilipinas, the Dutertes were the worst for the Philippines. No matter how you flip it up and look it up.
West Philippine Sea, EJ case,
on every issue.
COVID-19 management,
At kahit-
Farmali,
Kahit sabihin mo
confidential
na,
fund.
kasi palagi na
Sorry, I just have to roll it out para wala na silang masabi.
Hindi, pero palaging binabanggit kasi is, pero look at the infrastructure they did. Alam mo, infrastructure
Wala rin masyado,
doesn't
actually.
say much. Because every government will have an infrastructure project. And the reason they have that is so they can spend money. It's money they don't have. Remember that, palaging pinag-uusapan natin
Flood
yung
control.
budget. Yeah, di ba? Maraming
Ang
ganun
daming
eh.
flood control hindi kong yan.
Kaya that's why for me, important na malaman ng tao yan. Ngayon, if the trial does happen after, again, the midterms become some sort of a polling. to
Yeah,
find
referendum.
Oh, referendum of where the people are. And by then, pag nalaman ng mga senador na nanalo, we won because of this issue, then we'll find out how far it's going to take us. And that could really seal the fate. Not just that. Remember, Sara Duterte is also facing mga criminal cases.
Yes.
With the NBI, DOJ, maybe the ombudsman, if the ombudsman acts on it. Pero maraming kaso, administrative and legal and criminal. So, that could happen between now and July. So, even if the Senate postpones, because Cheese is just, I don't know where his mind's at, hey.
Where his eyebrows?
Yeah, yun lang. And by the way, I'll have to add, remember that Cheese is very close to the Marcoses.
Right.
She's very good friends with Liza Araneta.
Di ba
Marcos.
waiter siya nung...
Yeah, so ganun sila ka-close nila ng First Lady.
But I want to say one thing. Theoretically, Cheese will be one of the top candidates to replace Sara if she's impeached. So I want to be just fair to Cheese.
You mean as a vice president?
Yes, because constitutionally, it could be the Speaker of the House or it could be the President of the Senate. So ito.
Either or ba? Akala ko it was Senate
hindi
first.
siya clear. Na, in the US, it's in the Philippine Constitution, medyo may prerogative ang government to appoint either the Speaker or the... But at the very least, he's going to be one of the two top candidates. So now I want to be fair. So sorry, Cheese, for all of the the microblading trash talk.